Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I'm streaming some 2D 4X today. That is a 2D 4X video game that I'm writing, that is inspired by Paradox games like Crusader Kings and um, Dominions, which is not a Paradox game, and other 2D 4X games that I've played throughout my life. That I liked, and I always wanted to write one. So I'm learning Godot .Net, which is the C# Godot, and uh, putting it online. I never can do this. I'm trying to do two things at once, and I can never click this thing. I don't know why. Just can't do it. So I decided to do it later this time, and it kind of worked. I think it worked better than normal. Anyways, it's for my chat, so I can see both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Yesterday, I streamed some code, and last week, and I wrote some code, and it's all trash. I don't like any of it. The whole thing's trash. I think it's ugly. It's not very useful. It's hard to deal with later. it's just garbage. So we're gonna get rid of this fucking garbage and start from scratch for this. Not from scratch, the whole game. Some of it feels like some stuff definitely feels like it needs a rewrite from scratch, but we'll do that at a different point. So basically, what's going on is I don't know why I'm fixing that. I'm gonna get rid of it. We have these things in here. Let's go to one of them. These county improvements, and these are just sample ones. The whole game takes place in I fixed the negative number issue that I had yesterday offline, and it was right here. This is the problem, is this little negative thing. And it started me thinking about like how I'm doing this in the first place, and it's the way I'm doing it is shitty. So anyways, we have these like a fisher's shed, and it produces two things. These aren't real things. It produces fish and wood, right? And then we have this work cost, which is this weird number. And I think this is dumb. I've kind of disliked this the whole time. And I don't know why I used floats for this. So the problem is that as you go along, here, we'll run it. And I'll show you what I mean. Because they're floats, and they have to be floats, and we can turn them into ints, and we can turn them back to floats, and we can float and int and float and cast and all that shit back and forth. But it just turns into a clusterfuck later. And so as I was fixing that negative number thing, because I just kept thinking about it, I was like, wonder how to fix that. And it seems like such a weird thing to suddenly appear. We just gotta wait till day 2, or maybe day 3. We start getting all these numbers, and I gotta round them out, and I gotta truncate them as I turn them into ints, and the whole thing just is it's doable, but it's also ugly in why. I took a programming class 30 years ago, and there was a thing with ints and floats, and I remember I got it to work with floats, and my teacher was like, yeah, that works, but you should have done it with ints, because that was the assignment. And the whole point of the assignment was to figure out how to do like stuff with ints. And I don't remember what the actual assignment was. So he let it slide that one time. But it was a C class. C. It's just hard to follow along, and if you let this run longer, it starts having these like other numbers that are the whole thing is just starts getting weird. We'd have to keep saying like, make this 0 or make this 1 or make this, and I don't want to do that. But what I want it to do is just be like, here's 1.5, like we don't want that shit. So let's go back to making it all floats, all ints, which was the original plan. And I think that there's other things that we can do to make it better. Like every other game doesn't have this weird, instead of having like, where we have a partial number of the work amount, or the work cost is like, oh look, it's 0.04, and then there's a bunch of shit at the end. So it's not even, there's stuff going on here. So I decided, let's just rewrite this. So it should be pretty simple. there's a work cost for each item, right? Let's say the work cost is 10 and you make 50 work that day, you should get 5 items, right? And if the work cost is 500 and your work is 50 that day, it's added on to every day until it gets over 1. Like it should just be that simple. So we should be putting into this work cost area the cost of one item, right? Not this weird float, this weird decimal. I think that's the best way to do it, and I don't know why I think I vaguely I remember my logic of my internal logic of why I was doing it this way, but I think this is a shitty way. Luckily, I don't have a boss. I'm just figuring this shit out as I'm going. But see, like in this one's where it costs 2, so it's like, why is wood this 0.0? It's just, the whole thing is confusing. And then if I want, I always got to battle my shitty memory. So like, I got to remember how things work later on. So I got to take notes. I'm like the guy in Memento, tattooing my own body to remember shit. So I'm not going to know why this is 0.04 later. It's not going to make any sense. The whole thing's going to be a disaster later. So let's just do this how it should be. And so what we're going to do, but that means that we got to like start with a baseline of something. And that baseline we'll use the amount of work generated. So we're going to have like kind of larger numbers, especially on things with like tanks and stuff. It might take 100,000 work, So the daily work amount is the thing that we got to, is our baseline. And then this bonus will just be a bonus. We could make this daily work amount like 2, and then the bonus would be 1. But I think 10's better so that we can have the bonus. We can adjust the bonus for, maybe we want the bonus to only be 2, but if the daily work amount is 10 and we decide that the bonus is too much, we should bring it down, or if it's not enough, we should bring it up. If it was 2, we would be stuck. So if we start with a bigger number, it will be better. So 10 will be the daily work amount that every person generates is 10. And we probably should do the daily construction amount. It should be 10 as well. And then we could get rid of the daily construction amount. Let's put a note in here. Get rid of daily this way it'll be easier for the player too if these numbers are consistent in this. Get rid of the daily construction amount and make it the same as the daily work amount. I'm spelling daily wrong here and I have all sorts of problems. Daily. And you know what I'm going to do? We'll put this. We'll put this here too. Daily construction bonus amount, and make it the same as the daily work bonus amount. And then we'll put this in my project as well. These will be in here. We'll put it for the next round. We have a lot of things growing in here. We'll put this here. And the bonus to, and then we'll go into here. We'll convert this into an issues because this is something sometimes there's when I'm programming, I'm thinking about the game in the future. I think I'm giving too many options, too many things that I can adjust, and too many. Sometimes that's just the way it is. I'm trying to include too many things. I need to keep going, keep focused, make it simpler. There's too much garbage going on. Let's make it consistent, and instead of having 2 different daily work amounts, one for work and one for construction, just have it one number. And this would also apply to the bonus amount. And then we'll do that. We'll save that. All right. So then let's go back here. And so we want for like the Fisher's hut, where does food or wood is just in, we're going to take wood out of there. But we'll say that it cost, we want some weird number because we're going to be dividing and stuff. And so we want some weird number. We'll put 15 in here. And then we want, no, that's money. We'll put this as 2. Money actually is weird because we aren't actually applying that. We aren't doing the math for that yet because I thought we were, and then when I was fixing the code last night, I was like, wait, we're not even doing the money shit. I don't know how it's appearing. And then 2 over here for fish. So 2 divided by 50 is you'll get 25 fish a day. That's really high. But we'll do 2 for now. 2 and 15. 15 is a weird number because it's not divisible by 50, evenly. And then 2 will get the thing. All right. And then we'll run this and we'll just get a bunch of garbage. I'm just curious what will happen. I don't know why I'm curious. We're going to rewrite all that code. Not all of it. 90% of it. 95% of it. Yeah, fuck this. We don't even need to look at it. We don't care. I got to change my music. Sometimes I listen to a song that I really like, but it starts all the other music after that because I'm using like the YouTube music for random. All the music it suggests that after that is fucking trash. And that's the thing that I'm in, the case that I'm in right now is the trash stuff. Okay, here we go. We're fine. Everything's fine. All right, let's go back to this thing. So we're going to do 10 and 5 to start with. 10, 5. Perfect. And we'll go back to the banker, and we'll start at the top. So we have 2 different things basically that are happening too. We have the internal mechanisms where it's doing the math, and then we have the UI for the player. So there's this part we can put this up here. I mean, it should be obvious. But we'll probably put a summary up here at some point of what this is doing. And I have like all these comments in here, and I think I'm going to keep trying to comment my code like that, even though it might be ugly. It's just for once again, my shitty memory. And if any other person ever decides to help, they need to know what the fuck's going on here. This goes through a list of completed county improvements and does the math to generate the production data. And does the math to generate the production data. Does that even mean anything? That's not what this does. To generate the goods produced. That's what it does. These are called goods. We also need to rename this fucking thing. Do I have this on my list? I know it's somewhere. It's called resources. It's bothering me more and more. So there's an internal thing in Godot called resources. And then I was using the term resources for like wood and shit like that. And I don't like that they're both have the same name. So I've changed the name to goods. I don't see it in here. Well, rename, I swear I did this, resources to goods. I swear I already had this somewhere. That's fine. We'll convert this to an issue. And this isn't really a county improvement thing. So we'll put it, I love how it just sticks this wherever the fuck it wants. We'll put this right here. Saving and loading is going to be a huge thing. Look, I have 2 of them. we gotta look at that soon, really soon. Working on another game where Much simpler game where I started doing the saving and loading and saw the issues that I'm going to run into on this game. So we got to kind of check that out. Because it's going to be a problem. Because the more we work on it, the more we got to go back and fix how it saves and loads and whatnot. So anyways, we want to go through every completed county improvement. That's correct. And then we want to, if the county output goods dot count is greater than 0, because if this is not null for some reason, I don't know why we have to null check this shit, but we do. And county improvements max workers is greater than 0. This is, so let's put a note in why it's doing this, because I know why it's doing that. Every time I look at this max workers thing, I'm like, why is it max workers? This is checking, and we also need to turn this into a method, because we need to pass in two different lists: the county output goods and the whatchamacallit, faction output goods, like money. This is checking max workers because it needs to skip county improvements that don't have workers, such as a warehouse. There we go. All right, so it's going to go through all of these. It's going to go through this county output goods. Oh man, that just reminds me. Do I have this on my list about research? So research, I want to change how that works too. I want it to apply the research points to will there be a work cost? Yes, there will be a work cost. We need to change how research works with the new work cost concept. All right. That's going to be bad. That's going to be kind of a pain. But once we, if we have this more consistent, it will be better later. And maybe we'll do scavenging. We'll change how scavenging works too. We've done this before. I say we because chat helps me sometimes. Sometimes they say some dumb shit too, but that's okay. 90% of the time they say good stuff. And 90%, someone said something yesterday in chat, which was a good thing, but it didn't apply. But then I was thinking about it later and I was like, oh wait, that's how I figure out this problem. So in fact, do I have this thing still running? No. Okay. So we go through this county improvement. So we needed this to check. We need to pass in, so let's as we go, let's make this work with both the county output goods and the faction output goods. So the first thing we need for calculate work, we can get rid of this. I don't know what that is. We'll go through and get rid of this shit too. This should probably actually be in the summary. We'll put it up here. It's not going to do my summary for me though, okay, it's not going to do that either. Let's cut this. Let's do that. Let's paste this. Let's get this shit out of here. I don't know if this was simpler. Let's go through the list of completed county improvements and does the math generate the goods produced. Okay. So that's what this whole thing does. We'll do this. So it needs to do these two different lists. It needs to do the county improvement, or no, sorry, not here. It doesn't need to do it. It needs to go through the county improvement thing, and then it needs to check this, but it needs to do these for two different lists. But it needs to, if the count is 0 for one, it still needs to do the other one. So we need to do this twice, I guess. So we'll write a little method here called check. Maybe we'll do it for this way first, and then we'll go, once we know exactly what we need, we'll go back and we'll All right, so we have the output goods. It's going to go through each output good. And it resets today's goods amount generated before it does all the calculation. It needs to keep this number for the player UI until it does the math. All right, today's goods amount generated until it does the math. Until it, where is this thing? So on here, under our county, till it hits banker.calculation. Workday over is what we want it to actually say. Until it hits. Hopefully that makes sense to me later. Reset today's goods amount generated before it does all the calculations. All right, so today's goods amount generated. That's fine. Yeah, every day it needs to start at 0 with the amount of goods it's generated. There's no leftovers. I mean, there will be, but that's going to be a different number. And then we also need, though, is like the work amount for each resource for today, which is this number right here. But we need to get this a different way. We need to, so this is all going to be ints. Divide the number of goods the improvement generates by the number, divide the number of goods the improvement generates by the number of goods. Divide the amount of work by the amount of work the improvement generates by the number of goods. Okay. So we reset this thing. We don't give a fuck. I deleted this out of here. We don't give a fuck about the remainder. Remainder. Even though it was a kind of a significant number. Wonder if there's a better way to do that. So we currently, so we're back to that 50 number. So we're getting the number 50 because we have 5 people working at 10. That's how much work is generated for that county improvement. And then we're dividing it by the number of things on this list. So on this list, there's 3 things, right? And so there's 3 things, and so we divide that and we get whatever, 16 or whatever this shit is. I think it's 16. 50 divided by 3. Yeah, it's 16 point whatever. So we have that 16 number. What if we say, or what if we just change how this works and we don't divide the number? We just have 50 as the number, and the 50 is applied to all 3 things. So yeah, let's just do that. Let's not divide this at all. Work amount for each day is going to just be, so let's make this not a float. If this is a float, let's change this production data to an int, wherever you are. Work cost, we're going to do this one at a time, even though I think we can change them all. We don't need this to be a 0. I was testing shit. We'll do these one at a time. I'm hoping we can get rid of all these floats because they're just the pain in my ass. So back to the banker. So the work amount for each resource per day is going to be, we'll bring this down here because it's to make it easier to read. Just this. We'll get rid of this thing. And then we're going to put a note in here. Divide the, no, we don't give a fuck about, yeah, this whole thing's gone. Tab this way the fuck over here. The work amount for each resource is the same. The work amount isn't divided by the number of resources. The amounts, the work amount is applied to each resource, and the amount of goods generated should reflect that. Now I'm going to put an example in here for my future self one more time. So if we, the improvements is producing, we'll hope that makes enough sense to me there. So we just get this number. This number is generated during a different part of the thing. But this number is just passed, it's an int, and it's passed to this int. And then this is just a thing that we'll hopefully be able to get rid of soon. I think it's here because without this, it needs to divide by 0. So we don't have any more. I think this is here because without it tries to divide by 0. What's dividing anymore? We don't have any more dividing. This is just being assigned. This is the work amount for each resource per day. And this is where everything turns to shit. And this is where it was like, it just doesn't make sense. So what do we need to check here? We'll comment this out, but I think we're going to get rid of it like very, very soon. This one we need. And this is, we need this. Okay. So back to this thing, we have the work cost and the work amount. If we look at this number over here, this is 15, right? And we know that we're going to generate at least 50 that day. So we have the 50 and we're so we have 15 and we need to look at the 50. So if it's less than, so if the, come on, man, work cost is less than if the work cost is less than the key value pair value work amount, this number needs to change actually. Okay, so this, we need to do this differently. So this actually needs to apply this number. It needs to add this work amount. So this work amount is going to be like 50 every day. It's not going to be 50 every day because we have that bonus thing. But let's say it's 50 every day. It needs to add it onto this work amount so that it keeps a running total. Work amount for each resource per day. Stored work amount. We'll just call it work amount. And so if the work cost is less than the work amount, then we divide the work amount divided by the work cost, and this is going to be today's amount good generated. Now we got like a float or some shit in here. We'll move this down here. Okay, so today's goods amount generated is the work amount. If the work cost is less than the work amount, we're going to divide this. We got to remember to clear out the work amount at some point. Actually, we got to do it right here. So this one of these is a float. The work cost, we got to change that. Oh yeah, I also made it so you could run I fixed the thing. So you can run this, and I think breakpoints work now. I haven't tested it though. Because I was talking to someone in chat yesterday. So work costs, what are we at? Production. Nope, not population. Production. Work cost. This should be an int. Okay. We might get some bugs here. All right, it's fine. So if the work cost is less than the work amount, we divide the work amount by the work cost. So looking at the work cost is 2 for fish, we're dividing 50 by 2, and that's how many. We'll get 25 of these things. Okay, so that's right. But what happens if it's so that we take that amount, we divide the work amount, but if we look at 15, because the other one's 15, right? And 3 times 15 is what? 45. 3 times 15. Whoops, what are we doing here? 3 times 15. 45, all right. So we should get 3, and then we should have 5 left over. So it's weird. Oh man. I have this problem where my right monitor doesn't always reflect the correct things on my taskbar. I did everything to fix it, and it will fix for like a couple weeks. I need to reformat my computer. It's scorched earth. And I was like, what's going on over here? It acts like now it's acting even weirder. Where it thinks certain things are open or not open. It's fine. We'll not worry about it. Okay. So we have this amount. This is divided by this work amount. We're still going to have leftovers, though. So what we need to do is we take, I think what we do, I'm going to ask ChatGPT this in a second. The work amount after that equals this, but we change this to that percentage thing, and this should give us the remainder. Let's double check this though. We'll have ChatGPT double check it. ChatGPT isn't always right, but will this give us the remainder? Yes, that line will give you the remainder divided by work amount divided by work cost. Assign it back to the work amount. Okay, so that seems right. So if the work amount is, Suki has it going, is 50 and the work cost is 15, what will the new work, and I think it should be 5, amount be? You made a compiler. That's a lot of work. What program did you write the compiler in? Or what language, I mean? Programming language. Okay, so this is what we want. So this only applies if the work cost is less than the work amount. Because we know C++, that sounds like one I had a friend, this is like 30 years ago, who had to write an OS for their final project. And that seemed like a ton of work. Without any AI, that also seems like a ton of work. I don't think, that seems like that would be above an AI's ability. I think it would start getting confused at that high level stuff. You know someone who got bullied because of their name? In real life or in like online life? Okay, so we have this. Yeah, that is a bummer. That's a common thing though. I think, that's what do they call it? Tragedy. I think in high school, and kids are mean. They haven't learned empathy yet. Not all of them, that is. I don't think we need this anymore. I'm going to get rid of it. Okay. So I don't think we have to do anything more for this part. I'd understand by knowing his name. Yeah, I mean, it is a thing. That's why, people are always like, "Oh my God, that's what you named your kid." Um, yeah, I don't think we need to do anything more. So this is just a check, and then we have the remainder. Okay, we can get rid of all of this crap. Himmler? Is he German? That was his first name? Oh no. Were his parents Nazis? You live in Canada? Yeah, that's a terrible first thing. No one warned him? No one thought to say, like, hey, this is a bad idea. Okay, so then we add this today's amount generated. This is no longer needs to be intified. So I think, and this would just, I think, let's double check what this does, but I'm pretty sure it just adds on the county resource. Yeah. And so it won't matter if it's 0. I guess we'd have it check. Was this in, how old is this person? Was this, because I feel like as a, in your 20s, I feel like if you were like, I'm not going to say the person's name, but I worked with a lady who had a very unfortunate last name, and no one ever said anything to her. Maybe 40 and they were getting bullied. This lady, she had I can't even believe that she didn't get her last name changed somewhere in the, okay, her last name was Adolf. I was like, but no one made fun of her for it. Everyone would just like behind her back would be like, "Oh my God, that poor lady has an unfortunate last name," but I'm surprised she didn't get it changed. Like, just not use that name. I know what you're thinking. You're like, it's who cares, right? But I bet you she got bullied a lot as a child too. I know, and then it's one of those things where it shouldn't be a name that should matter, but it seems like, man, she probably got destroyed in like high school and stuff. Okay. Did you say, was that the person's first name? Himmler? Because it was a last name. It's not that bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's the same as like the Adolf thing, even though Adolf's the first name, obviously. Yeah, were they related? Was it his first name? Wonder why his kid or his parents picked that name. Okay. So I think this is going to work right. The problem is the UI is not going to work right. Let's see what happens, and then we'll see. We already set these. Let's look at something. Oh, well, I just won't build it. You need to make a logo. Are you also a graphic designer? This is interesting that this is bringing This shouldn't bring up, well, no, money shouldn't do anything right, but 9 and 1. We'll deal with that in a second. Oh, we're also getting a bug here. Okay, what is the bug? That's the thing with development. A lot of times it's, man, I left everything open from yesterday. That's the thing with development is that there's so many hats that you have to wear. Sometimes I stream indie games on my other channel, and it's kind of impressive sometimes where the developer has done everything, and they like have like 3D art, they have all of their code, they have like the music, the voices, and it's like, man, how do they do all that shit? Oh, we do have a 0. This is going to be good. Generate goods produced without bonus for UI is the problem, and that's at 130. This is a float. We don't want this to be a float anymore. Fuck this float. What are we doing here? What is the name of it? Work them out. Calcium? You should have some bones or something on there for your eye, for your icon. Um, what is this? I know you guys can hear my music, but I'm listening to some bad music that I need to. Oh, it's all. Okay. Um, is there a better way to do this since we're redoing this other stuff? So this is going to be. I mean, we can manually type this shit in. I'd prefer to not to do that because then we're going to forget to update stuff. Get all the work and then divide it by the number of resources. So it starts at 50. This is 50 divided by production cost. If this, so work cost is 0. Wonder which one it croaked on. Oh, we probably croaked. Yeah, I was about to say, we probably croaked on one of these because it's not a whole number. So let's do like 3. All right, let's see here. Oh, same problem, party. Yeah. So what else did I change? Since we turned that into an int. Oh, we lost these because they were an int probably. This was 2. This was 15. And I want this to air out. I don't want to put a check in there. I want it to actually croak when it runs, so that we know that there's some major problem down here. Okay, we got one more. Oh, we got to put it on the scouting equipment. Also had something in here. So this one's gonna be a higher number. So we'll put like 500. That's a lot. Let's do 100. Are you doing this for a class, or are you just doing it for fun? Okay. So we're still bugging out here. We have one more that's hitting a 0. I guess I could put a null, a 0 check. It's not a null check. How long did it take you? Are you done? I guess is. What else did I do? Maybe I might have had something in the garden. Nothing here. This has happened in the past. Nothing here. Nil nil. No, not construction. Outputs. Faction. We have something. Okay, this is the storage thing. This one should be 0 though. And it should skip this though. Wait, does it have that? Yeah, if it's not equal to storage. 2 weeks? That's pretty fast. This shouldn't be 0. This shouldn't be 0. Oh, wait, I just remembered something. I went back to version 4, dev 4 of this. I thought I had the README open already. Oh, I do. Here it is. Yeah, okay, that still says dev 4. So it should still skip that one. Let's close these down so I'm not accidentally looking at these. Faction. Oh, we do have one in here, and it's 0. What was I doing with the research office? We could just put this at 50, and it would... Oh, we got to change this code. Oh, this isn't saved either. Oh, well, I haven't done anything to that. Banker. We got to go back to here, and we got to go, if it's less than or equal. Less than or equal. What is your programming language like? We don't want that. So it was research, and I didn't check the scouting equipment. Well, we should have one output here. Okay, that is all correct. What is the goal of the programming language that you're writing? All right, so we don't get any more bugs there. So this is saying 8. This should be 25. 5 and 1. So let's look at what that is. This is back to that thing. That was under this. No, we had it like it over here for some reason. So max workers times daily work amount. That's 50 divided by the work cost. Let's look at the work cost. I think I just put 2 in there. Not wood. 2. But this is showing 8. I wonder if I have some weird shit left over. I do have some weird shit left over. This is the weird shit left over. We're no longer doing that. Write a compiler on it to compile itself. Man, that's like I said, it's a big task for a fun project. Okay, so now we have 25, 16, and 3. This is exactly what we want. We don't want the remainder crap. This is what we want. 16, let's double check that math. I don't remember what I put in for money. 3. Yeah, I mean, we just did this 10 minutes ago. Yep, and we lose this garbage. That's perfect. We want it to be truncated. All right. So then let's build this thing, and we'll fix the next step. So this should be the same numbers until it's built. And we want day 3 here. So this says 31. And the money still has an issue. That's because we haven't checked the money thing. So the reason why this is going to be different is we're going to be generating different, and we can do a test without the bonus work because there's a bonus. You get bonus work for skilled people. Let's go to Portland down here. Work at county improvement. Oh, we never cleared that shit out. Do we want to clear that out? No, we did. If it's over, we take out the remainder. Over or equal. You did the logo already? That was quick. Today's goods amount generated equals. Let's see here. I'll look at I try not to look at Discord when I'm streaming. Let's take a look here. Here, I'll wave too. I don't see it on Discord. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna bring it over here. What are these numbers? Is that from the periodic table? I don't know my periodic table. You could put the version numbers on here too. I don't know if that would confuse people. That's pretty awesome. I thought you said something about skeletons. Stickman, I mean. I was the person who said something about skeletons, but Stickman. So we don't have to clear the work amount because we're doing this. Today's goods plus generated. I think this is work amount for each. So it should be going up until it hits the amount. Is this right? Yeah, it just puts the remainder. We don't need to do any math besides to get the remainder. 31.4. So this one generated an extra one because of the bonus. Let's change the bonus. I don't know if this is gonna fuck shit up, but let's change the bonus to 0. Then we'll know that we're getting the right number. It's right down here. I might already. Oh, I have 1 on the bonus work amount. Let's change it to 0. And that 4 means that everyone got their bonus, which is crazy. And we gotta build this thing. Yeah, I think 5 as a bonus is gonna be too much. We'll probably do like 2 or 3 or something. So it'll be you'll slowly get extra stuff. All right, now let's look at this. Actually, let's look at this and make sure that this looks right. That is not right. I bet you this is just counting up. 70 fish. Let's go back up to Portland. Douglas, Tillamook, Portland. All work amount 120, 130, 140, 150. Are we not clearing that? 150. Well, that's the right number. With this is the wrong number, but this is the right. Work amount for each resource for today. For all daily work amount at improvement. So this is Umatilla, which is a AI thing. So this one went down. Then it keeps going up, which is what we want. Is that what this one did? It did. All daily work amount at completed improvement. Is it not clearing? Do I have the wrong thing being cleared up here? This number must not be getting cleared. This number must not be getting cleared. Yeah, we're just adding it in. We're adding it in for each person with a skill check there. Which is what we need for this part, but we need to clear it at the beginning of the day. Because otherwise this number is just going to keep going up, and that's what this is showing right here, is that it just keeps going up forever. And I bet you if we let it run another day, it will just keep going up forever here. Yeah, so we need to clear that out somewhere. So before this is under county data. Actually, we got to go to here. Workday over for population. Calculate work to goods. Where did I stick this other thing? The workday over, it's going when it has work. It is applying work per person is where it does this thing. So we could clear... You know where we could do it? We could do it for each county improvement. Oh, no, we can't do it here because we need that number. At the end of each county improvement, we add the resource, and then we go county improvement data dot all daily work completed equals 0. Reset all the county, and we should probably make this a method. Reset all the county improvements work so that the next day it will generate with new skill checks. I think that's I'm trying to put enough information in here so that I know why I'm doing that. We probably do need a thing in here though. We'll just turn this into a method where we could just have like a static method. I'm going to test this, and if that works, then we'll have a static method. I'll change, and we'll rebuild this because we still got to get the faction level stuff too. And I guess the old UI stuff that I thought I was going to have to rewrite is actually working. I might take a break though after this. I am going to take a break after we test this here. So this is 25, 16, 3. That all looks right. I don't know why 16 is working. That looks right. We're going to go to the next. Fisher Shed has been completed. 15. This is wrong. 15 does not seem right. It is wrong. It should be 25. So we're doing something to that number in the UI, but this is right. Work amount for each resource today. So do we have this in here twice? Oh, it doesn't say which resource it's doing. One of these should not be 0, though. This is for wood. This should be 3. So I did the first one right, and then I did the second one wrong. It's probably clearing. Yeah, that's what this is doing. This is in the wrong spot. This needs to be here. Because it's clearing it after the first one. It needs to be after this. Oh, we need to bring this down here too. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. Let me put... Everyone stared at this for so long. It's let's leave this bad UI up. I'm going to pause the music that you guys can't hear, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Okay, I'm back. That was a surprisingly longer break than I thought. It's weird how that happens. It's like when you take a shower. That you're in like shower time. Sometimes it like feels like you're in the shower for 2 hours and you're in there for 5 minutes. Other times you're in there for 5 minutes and the opposite. All right, what were we doing? We got to fix this thing. So let's go back over to this panel here. This has a bunch of garbage in it. So this is without bonuses for UI. We still want that. We still want this. This is checking for the faction, which we haven't. Well, we are doing it. This is if it's is not equal to producing. It puts this in, and then we have is greater than or equal to 1. It predicts today's amount, and otherwise it should put the work left over by the work cost. Wood was 0 because it produced 1. No, it should have produced 4. Should have produced 4. I gotta skip this song that you guys can't hear. It was bad. I don't know who it was, but it was bad. Oh, this is still running in the background. It's been running for days. 50. Oh, right. We had that 0 thing. So that couldn't. So if it was 0 is greater than or equal to 1, it should put this. But it had 0. So that actually was working correctly, but we had the wrong thing in there. So this is a shitty song too. It's like Devo covering some. Devo's a great band, but I don't want to hear them covering something. All right, this all looks right. 16. 16. What did I put under that? It's completed. We're on day 2. We got 20 fish and 2 wood. That is incorrect. Work amount for today is 40. Actually, this is right. And we got 2 wood because we must have some people that aren't working. Let's see here. We have 5 people working. So we should have got 50. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we're in Umatilla. This should be 25 and 4, and we are seeing 20 and 4. Okay, so my fear is correct then. The fear was that these production values are not, so it's using this production value. From Umatilla, because that was the one that was the most recent. So something is going wrong with these production things. We need to make a copy of them. They're all the same is basically what's happening. Even though I said make them unique, it doesn't mean make them unique for real. So what we need to do is we need to duplicate them. This needs to be saved. So we need to duplicate them at some point. So when are we going to do this duplication? I'm thinking here. That's going to be a huge pain. So what I was hoping is that these would make them unique for real, but it's not. These guys built a Fisher shed as well, and we're getting their Fisher shed numbers. I'm almost positive. These guys are working in a garden. Look at this. They have 8 people working there. Garden we don't care about because it doesn't produce anything yet. And then here's Tillamook. We're getting the number. Yeah, I was hoping by making this unique when these things were being copied. So let's go back to the county. Where was that? That's going to be under county improvement data. We have this thing down here, and we have output goods. This can go away. We're not using this anymore. This needs to be like this, I think. A new list. It's not in a list. It's as a dictionary. A Godot dictionary. Collections dictionary of faction resources and production data. And then we go like this. Cannot convert. Oh, I'm using a normal dictionary. I'm not using a Godot dictionary. I don't believe you. How am I able to look inside that thing then? I don't believe you. Yeah, it's not a... Oh, did I put input goods? No. Maybe I did. Maybe I'm on the wrong thing. But even so, it's a thing. Oh, I am on input goods. So this probably doesn't, no, this doesn't matter for input goods. So we'll copy this, or we'll cut this, and we'll put this here. And we'll go back and we'll make this right. Then we'll go over to here. And we'll go like this. Okay. Then we'll actually copy this part again. I think it's actually on my clipboard, but man, this next song that I skipped to is fucking awful too. Oh, it's another All song. There's a band called All. They originally were called The Descendants, and The Descendants is good. The when they went to All, they really went down in quality. Okay, so hopefully this will do the trick, and we'll get a copy of this. We don't want the real thing. We want new. Well, I guess hopefully we'll get the same thing where Umatilla will have less people working. So we can test this. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. I wonder if that was throwing a wrench in my yesterday's work, where I was wondering why shit wasn't working. And okay, so Umatilla has 30. So they got 15. Yeah, and so what do we got? Portland has 50. It's still doing it. So this production data isn't getting copied. I wonder if we can... I don't think we can like put duplicate here. No. Is this saved? Yeah. And I did rerun it. I'm pretty positive. Okay, so how else are we going to do this? All of these production datas are the same, even though I said make unique over there. There's like a way we can do it that's going to be ultra shitty. Maybe there's a way we can do it in the inspector. So I did this make unique, but it's not obviously unique. We might have to do something fucking crazy. where we create a new copy down here, like this copy. We do like a copy of a dictionary where we go through and we create new ones. This is a problem with it's exported, right? Because that's a thing that it's got to be as well. I mean, we're looking at it elsewhere. Yeah. We're back to this problem. This has been a regular reoccurring issue with how Godot does its resources. I actually hate how it does it. Let's see if somebody else has Godot copy dictionary with resources. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Not copying. Duplicate and not making a unique copy of my custom resource. You may be encountering this known issue. The workaround is create a custom duplicate function. I don't want to do that, man. Duplicate does not copy variables. Like that's not like. Why did they make it this way? This thing is like such a reoccurring pain in my ass. I don't even know why they like. Sometimes it makes sense. I'm like, okay, this is what they're going for, but it would be way easier to not do it this way. Yeah, so we're gonna have to go like do a for each. This also occurs in 3x. Confirm. Does not do anything. Let's see if they have any good ideas here. GD script class is not fixed now. Has any way to fix this problem? Regarding duplicate and blah blah blah. It's like it's how they fundamentally built the resources, I think, is the problem. The workaround is function duplicate deep workaround. Duplicate true. Yeah, like this is gonna be a pain in the fucking ass. This just keeps going. After duplicating the array. Oh, maybe I can try that. Can I do that? Can I put a dot duplicate at the end of this thing? Maybe. No, not here. Down here. Instead of doing a new one. I don't think I can. Let's see what happens. We need it to be actually over here, though. I don't think it's going to work, but let's see what happens. They're saying deep to be true. It's possible. No, I think all the production data has an export on next to it, but we'll see. And we'll just hope that once again, after Portland, there's a Umatilla is running less population. Guess I could force that too. Then we got to do the county or the faction level resources too. Okay. 20 and 3. Yeah, it's still not, that didn't do shit. Let's put true in here. I've done this so many times, I don't know why I'm bothering to try this again. That's the deep copy. The deep duplicate doesn't work. I don't think they're ever going to fix it. I think it's, like I said, it's something that's built into how they construct their resources. So you got to, like, if it's a custom one, the shit just goes bad. And it's been a huge pain in my ass. Like I've said 4 times here. 20 and 3. Yeah. So this doesn't do shit. Okay. So what we're going to have to do . is write another one of these. This works for a list, but we can't export a list, so that we're going to actually have to change that too. Okay, so we're going to need to do... I want to write one method that works for both of these, and these have these dictionaries are different. They both have production data in them. Let's do this. I think here, resource, and we don't need that anymore. Let's go to see. I want ChatGPT to write it because I'm lazy. Let's make. Can you make? It's probably not going to know what I'm talking about though. I need to go through each item in these dictionaries and copy them to a new dictionary. I need to, for each, they're different, and I want it in one method. Let's see if I can figure out what I'm talking about. Combined output. No, I don't want them to be combined. I don't want to use var. I don't want them to be, oh, I see what it's just calling it, combined. What? Public? So this is what it's returning, combine output. I don't want them to be combined. I don't want them to be combined. I want to, I wank? I don't want them to be combined. I want to put each dictionary in individually, but I want the method to work for either dictionary. Also, don't use var. I don't know how many times I've told this thing. Each, without combining them, you can create a method that takes any dictionary's production data and copies it for each value. Okay, it's the T thing is what I was wanting. Yeah, this T thing. Return copy dictionary. The T thing. And I guess we'll put it in here. Faction. Do we need to copy this one? Let me think here. We don't. We just need it to work for the production data. Now that I think about it. The faction resource, I'm dragging over the resource, which is like a, that's not being fucked with. That's just, we couldn't use an enum for a long story. But basically it puts it turns the enums into numbers. I don't want to see the fucking numbers. I want to see the name of the enum. God damn it, now I'm on like the new Misfits or something. It's not the new Misfits. I know you guys can hear it, but it's just as bad. Why does all this music suck today? Let me go to something else. Here, we'll just do this. There we go. We actually, yeah, we just need the production data to copy, actually, now that I think about it. So let's go to this production data, wherever the fuck it is, and we'll put in here, we'll do public, it's going to return production data, and it's going to be called deep, we'll call it new copy, because that's what I've been calling these things. And I don't know if we can do it this way. I think what we gotta do here, this is gonna be ugly. We're not using this anymore. These other ones we are. What's this? Oh, this is the wrong thing. We want this to be work amount. We can just get rid of this. See, that me just thinking, well, let's rewrite this whole fucking thing was much better than not rewriting it. How did I do this on this other one, and why isn't it? Why did it work? We have a new copy in here. Okay. So we go production data, new production data equals new. What did I do in here? Oh, just equals new. Just equals new. No, I didn't. I did like this. And then this is going to go into here. And well, I guess I can't. Oh, we got, no, that's right. Then we'll get rid of this garbage. And this garbage. I'm going to put commas and stuff. That can just go. Is that it? There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Yep. This can go up to here. Does this one say new? We're passing in the production data called production data. And then we go, this equals production data dot, yep. And then this one's going to equal, yep. And then this is going to equal, yep. And then this is going to equal, you don't know? You don't know? Oh, now you're even, oh no, you're fine. Okay. And then this is going to equal, and then what is this thing's problem? And then we need to return. Where did I put this return at? Just at the very bottom. That makes sense. Oh yeah, I keep ignoring this thing because it's even more confusing. This looks like gibberish to me. It's a ChatGPT did that, so I keep ignoring it because of this error. But I guess I just gotta bite the bullet eventually. Uh, there's no way around that, you know. Uh, okay, so we have this thing being copied now. And so then when we go back to this county improvement, though, I wonder if we can do it like on initialization. So like here, we initialize this. And we make the copy here? I don't think we can. This shit's dragged and dropped in the inspector. Why doesn't make unique make it unique? Godot, make unique. What does this thing do? When you duplicate an object, a node, all properties are copied to the new instance, but resources are shared between these two instances. So if you modify the resource from A, you'll see, yeah, ensures that the selected is unique. This means there's no longer shared with other instances modified. It will not affect other objects. It's not true, though. When you duplicate an object, all properties are copied. You know what we can do to double check this? Can I get to it? Let me think here. So we have, I think I can. So if we go to, actually our counties are at the bottom. If we go down to Umatilla and we go to the county data, and then we go from the county data, we go to the completed county resources, which looks to me like they're not on the, we don't have an export on those, so that we can't look at that. We're gonna have to put an export on that, but oh, there's my garbage word. I wonder if I can do that. County resources, probably, oh, it is open. If I can just stick. That's another garbage word. We're actually in county data, not county resource data. I don't know if I can put, we're gonna have to put an export on here regardless because of this, how the save function works. How did I do this the other day? I hit, there we go. These are Godwin. How's it going? Yeah, it doesn't work. doesn't work. I've used that true thing like 100 times and it never works. Unless I'm doing it in the wrong place. Maybe I can try it in a different place. What was I looking for? Completed. Yeah, so we're gonna have to change this to a Godot thing because we can't export a list. We're gonna have to change that eventually. So all of these are gonna. I wonder what happens when we do this one. I wonder if I put export on here, what it does. Oh, it's fine with that. That's interesting. I'm not gonna do that right now, but that's when we do the thing. So this will work if we were just doing production data. It's always, this problem happens all the time. And I'm just trying to think of the easiest way to do it because otherwise, so we have to be able to drag and drop things in here. I guess we don't have to, but it would make life way, way easier if we can drag and drop things into here, which is the plan. And they made this so that we can see dictionaries in here, which made it so much nicer. And so they're unique to here. To this point, they're unique. If they weren't unique, they would be changing when if I change this one would change. So these are unique to this point. But then when we do I think we're gonna have to for each inside of here. Yeah, here's our true test. Didn't do shit. So what we're gonna have to do, let me think here. It's back to the thing that I was hoping not to have to do. So let's copy this code that ChatGPT wrote just because I'm lazy. And we'll use the T thing. And this is gonna go here, I guess. I guess it's gonna go in this thing. Man, this also causes me so many issues later because I forget to add this in and then it breaks and is this even let me look at this code. Original dictionary. I've done this before. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I've never had this true thing do anything. I did another one of these with a T, and I didn't get this issue. So let me think about this, or let me search for my T here. I don't know if this is going to actually work, but I can't remember if I took it out. Oh, here we go. That's what that list would notify that I was curious about. So what that list does is when something happens to it, it um, does an alert. Fuck is this? And then what did I just do to it? I hit a key or something. Um, so I think it's that one. We might be able to modify this other one. No, not that. Come on, go back to it. Come on. I got a bunch of T's in here. This one. Let's copy over this thing. The T things I'm still not comfortable with. I gotta get comfortable, obviously. So this one, let's put a comment. Let's comment this out so we can just look at it without it freaking out. So copy output goods. We're gonna call this copy for copy. Actually, no. Copy output goods is whoops is what we want. So this one we did. See, it has this is the T with the N. Oh, I'm surprised we're still using that N. Oh, it's for output goods. Yeah, we don't give a shit about the production data for output goods. Do we? Or input goods, I mean. Output goods we do. So what I did here is it looks like I had a goods panel containers, what it's returning. This is returning a dictionary. Must be annotated. What's it trying to tell me to do? Nope. The generic type T must be annotated with must be variant attribute. This method is generic. Yeah, I was looking at their thing. I've had this issue so many times, and it way back at the beginning. It was extreme. I was extremely frustrated because I didn't know that was a thing at all. Now that I've encountered it 50 times, it's just like how to solve it. I don't think they're gonna fix it. I don't. So I think, what does it say at the bottom of this issue? 4 days ago. Allow using sub resources unique when selecting multiple nodes. That's kind of different, I think. There's another garbage word. I don't think they're gonna. I think it's something that's built in, and there occasionally I run into something and I go, "Oh, this is why they don't let you duplicate this thing." But what they need is just another dot, instead of dot duplicate, they copy or something. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. The thing is, they're different. So these have different, because they're dictionary. These things are dictionaries with a faction resource data, and this one has a county resource data. It's funny, yesterday, I didn't actually mention this when I was streaming, but I thought, why did I make these different? It sure it causes a pain in my ass to have these different. This faction resource data and a county resource data. Like, why didn't I just make them a resource data or goods data? I mean, the faction resource data is pretty nothing. What does the county resource data look like? County resource data is also not that big. Like, I could just combine these and make my life easier. But that's something. Whenever anybody sees my ridiculously long code, they're like, "Why aren't you breaking that up?" And I know I need to. So what I was trying to do is get a method that would work for both, but I'm never that familiar with this T thing, how it works. So this is going to iterate over each one, but like I'm trying to, and then it wants me to put this, we'll for each it. Well, that's what this is doing. I don't know why it's doing a system collection. We won't do that. We'll fix this. But I was trying to see. So the way this thing's doing, why is it? It's because it's returning a dictionary and it doesn't know what it is why this thing's there. It doesn't know. We can do a switch, but I don't want to do a switch. I don't know why I'm so against switches. Everyone tells me I'm crazy. Switches are the way to go. So this one, key value pair. I changed this. So this thing up here, ChatGPT gave me and it also didn't work, and I somehow fixed it. Whoops. I don't know what I just did. I like dragged something weird. I wonder if I can just put key value pair in here. I can, but it doesn't know what that is. Well, I mean, I use key value pair all the time, but why is it letting me do this? Define a key value pair that can be set or retrieved. Okay, where the key is T. Let's try this. We're not getting any errors. Initialize a new dictionary to store the copied items. Do these all say that it must be variant thing? Is it wanting this right here? What is this thing? I've never seen this must be variant. Oh, this is a Godot thing. I've heard them talking about this in the documents. You know what it did earlier? It being ChatGPT, is it made this weird little switch for me. Oh, but then it's not going to know. Where was that? It was, maybe it wasn't in the banker. Where was it? What were we doing? It was probably those input goods, which would be in the banker. And it did. Was it in the banker? I can't remember. But I remember there was a little. Trying to think of like another word so I could search for it without using my eyeballs, you know? Uh, Godwin, are you an experienced Godot guy? It was, I swear it was in the banker, but I guess I guess I'm wrong. So I had a faction in a county thing a bit. What do you think of Godot? I always like to get people's opinions. Are you a Unity refugee like me? Um, it had a faction resource data in it. I mean, we use those all the time, but here it is. I don't know. I don't think that helps us. What is it saying? Oh, it's not in the banker. It's in the county improvement container. I agree. I like to know better. I'm glad that Unity had its issues. It's I'm trying to think of the greedy, money grubbing shitbag issues. So that I was inspired to move to Godot. I really like how lightweight it is. Like yesterday when I was streaming, I was wondering if this bug I was having was related to being on Dev 4 versus Dev 3 because I moved to Dev 4 yesterday and you know I hadn't used it at all, so I was getting this weird bug. And so I just rolled back to Dev 3 and tested it, and it happened in Dev 3, which I knew was fine. So then I rolled back to Dev 4. In Unity, that would have been an hour. That would have been an hour of just switching versions. You know what I mean? It would have been an hour. I would have uninstalled the fucking thing. 30 minutes later, after it's done and uninstalling, I would reinstall the thing. Um, and that took me 5 minutes to test that. Like, so it was worth seeing if it was the version thing, which it was not. Over, yeah, that would have been a disaster, complete disaster in Unity. Just how long I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have tested that. Uh, so back to this thing. So we need to return. So this is going to return a key value pair, though, and I don't think I can do that. I don't quite. This other thing worked because we were returning something else. So if we could make them just two different things. We could combine the. I mean, it would be. So I have another game that I'm fucking around with, and I have different. So there's like guns and crew, uh, and whatever equipment. Though I haven't got to the equipment part. So there's guns and crew, and they were very similar. So I decided to combine them because it would just be easier. And then like a few days later, I was like, oh no, this is way better separated. So then I had to separate them out again. And I haven't done the re-separating them out again, but it's, I'm wondering if that would happen here. There's a reason probably why I have these separate, but I don't remember why. It might have just been at the time because we also like, we can put these, I have in the enums, wherever my enums went. I saw they were in some weird spot. Here it is. Usually I keep this over here. The globals and enums usually live over here. We can adjust like what they are. like their type, so we could say none. And so that's one option. Figuring out how to copy these. I'm going to tell it that I'm going to tell ChatGPT that this doesn't work. This doesn't work. I am using Godot 4.4 and C Sharp 8.0. Sometimes it doesn't know, it gets confused on versions. Well, now it's splitting them apart, which I could do. I was just trying to have one method without generics. I would like to use generics. You know, it never admits that it's wrong. It always says like, it will say like, oh, you're right. But it never says like, oh, I'm wrong. And sometimes it's wildly wrong. There was this one time, I forget what I was asking it. It's something about top 5 things, and I can't remember what they were, but it would not adjust them. Like every time I told it, it would always say, "Oh, you're right. Here's the new version," and the new version would always be the same. It doesn't like this T shit though. It doesn't like this use variant thing. Must be annotated with must be variant. Must be variant. Oh, I think I've read this the other day because I was getting something. Maybe it was for that other thing. Variant. Um, Godot variant is used to represent Godot's name variant type. Any variant compatible. Take advantage of C Sharp's type safety when possible. Implicit conversions. There are also create from, variant from. See, am I supposed to put like variant? Would that say from? It doesn't know what the fuck this is. It might need a namespace though. And I also was not typing it right, so let's just cut out the middleman here. Variant. Godot variant. Variant from. Joker, how's it going? I'm trying to figure out this variant thing. You know anything about that? Variant from. Variants can be anything. Well, that's a. It wants me to make this a variant. It wants me to use this thing. The generic type parameter T must be annotated with the must be variant attribute. It says it needs must be variants. So show me. Object. See, this is the other thing we did. cast it as a variant? Is that what you do? What do? Variant? Doesn't know what the fuck that is. I could have variant spelled wrong. Variant. It doesn't know what that is either. Object? That's a C sharp. Oh, no. I was about to say, oh, it's going to let me do it. No. Must be variant compatible. I guess I could actually read the documents instead of skimming them. For a detailed explanation of variant, see the variant document page. Aren't I on the variant document page? Oh, it's talking about the GD script variant. Godot variant is used to represent, yeah. We recommend avoiding, take advantage of C#'s type safety when possible. Converting from a variant type to can be done using implicit conversions. These are create from, but I don't want to create a variant. Variance T. Would just type it in there. Am I spelling variant wrong again? It's an A. It doesn't know what that is. Actually, let me hover over this and see what it says. The non-generic type dictionary can be used with type arguments. It's very rude. Generate. Variant are typically named after C types, not C keywords. If it doesn't match the conversion type, let's Google variant, no, with an A, C#, and let's see if we can get someone with some code that makes sense to me. Variants dictionary. So this guy is loading variant, no T, just variant? Oh. I think that's right. Or it's doing something. Can I still, yeah, but then this T works over here. It does not, it works here, but it doesn't work here. Where T equals class, new Godot collection variant. Here we go. We're on to something. Thank you. But we don't want this to be we want this to be, I don't know why it would suddenly, well, yeah, it's ChatGPT. It doesn't know what the fuck it's talking about. Collections. I mean, when I say it doesn't know what the fuck it's talking about, I mean it literally does not know what it's talking about. Not like it's a dumb shit. It doesn't know what it's talking about. Let's do dictionary. It doesn't know anything. You know what I mean? It doesn't know anything. Oh, this has to be a key value bear though, because we can't do this. So if we go key value pair, and then we return this thing. What is this thing? Get this the fuck out of my face. Here we go. What, copy output goods. All right, we did all that. Thank you, Joker. So then what we do here is we copy output goods. I don't know what I'm putting in here. Probably, what does it say? It says right here, variant and a production data. So faction, oh, this is a dictionary though it's passing in. So then, no, that's right. Faction data, faction resource data, comma, no, we need this. This thing needs to go in here. It doesn't like that though. It is. It is. Yeah, no, it is. So what does this thing want? Oh, but it needs a variant in here though, and it's not. Can we do that? Can we? I saw somebody do like a as variant or something. This is taking longer than just writing two methods, by the way, or combining the two things. As variant or something. Variants. 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 I think we should combine the things, but it's going to be an epic amount of work. Variant from. Variant. God damn it. Variant from. Oh, it only wants one of these? How can it only want one of these? Where's the other one? What's going on there? It's impossible. Where's the other one? 1, 2. There has to be another one at the end. Oh. No. It was the static issue was the thing. But that's going to jack up some other stuff. The type, okay, so there's two different ways. We can do this a different way, too. We can do it with where we have a little switch in there. The type arguments for method cannot be inferred. They typically, so we gotta like put a thing in there, but we don't know. All right, that's not gonna work. Let's go back to this being static. This thing's a dictionary. So we would have to like vary from this. I'm just gonna do the two different methods. Fuck it, right? And it already wrote two different methods for us, so we might as well just use those. Out of pure laziness. I was trying to, we probably should, here it is. We probably should just change faction. Right, lazy's the way to go. We should probably change the faction and county resources to the same thing. They're very similar. This, it's weirding me out that it made this a C# thing and not a Godot thing, but I guess it's not giving me any bugs. We'll just use it. We'll get this out of here. I mean, we'll use it in a second here. What did you call this thing? Copy. And then we'll put Doesn't like this thing either. Oh, it won't let us do this static anymore, huh? What is the other argument you want? Oh, you don't want an argument at all. Well, how do you know what the fuck you're copying? Oh. It wants me to do. It just put this in here. Stop it. It just put this in here. I figured I'd be passing that in, but can I put this back to being static? Because I would prefer this to be static. Now that I understand static a little bit better. Okay, and then this one would be copy, whatever. And then we'll wait here for whatever. What is this? Show work amount test. Get out of here. That was a test that I did. What do you want? Okay, you fixed yourself. Good, good, good. This can be simplified. You know, I'm just going to do it. Just get this thing on it. Yeah, okay. I don't like it because I don't know what this is. I mean, I know what it is. It's just that I'm going to look at it later and be like, what is this CP equals skills, whatever. It's just going to be gibberish here. You want me to make this easier? Or, whoa. Go over there. Okay, I guess my mouse is. And then you want me to simplify it again, huh? All right. Works for me. You know, that's another ChatGPT thing. Man, ChatGPT does not like this. It will always change that back. It doesn't matter what version of whatchamaffuck I tell it's on to of C# I tell it's on. It always just is like, nope, you can't do that. What does this want? We'll get to these make static in a second. And there's all those, that growing number of things was annoying me. Okay, we're going to hit run. And we'll see. And those numbers are right. We haven't gotten any bugs down here. We'll let 2 days pass like always. And this is 3 and 2, which or 20 and 30, which it should be 25 and 3 or 20 and 3. So it's still not working. It is still not making a copy how we want it to. So I'm going to take a quick break and then we'll be back. Less than 5 minutes. Let me stop my music that you guys can't hear. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I think what we got to do here is hit play on my music that you guys can hear, turn on my break timer, and then where was this thing? We need to copy these things. What did I call this? New copy? It doesn't let me because I need to put in a production value, which is this thing. And this is the county output goods. Yeah, that's the only one we care about this very second because we're not doing faction. We're gonna have to do faction after this. I'm glad that this presented itself as a problem before. Like, I'm glad that we had Umatilla was doing the things too. I almost put in a thing that only tested the players stuff right now, and we wouldn't have seen this issue until it was much farther along. So that's a good thing that we're seeing it now. And that solves the problem. So it's 20. Okay, so that's what we have to do. We have to make a deep level copy, and then we got to copy the copy and the copy of the copy. New copy item dot value. Problem solved. There we go. That's not weird or strange or confusing. We have to do a copy of a copy to make a copy that is unique. Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right. So that is working now with its own little special thing. Let's put in here maybe combine faction resources and county resources into one goods resource. So I think we might want to do that. They're not that different, and they're also not that gigantic. What was that thing that went by? Something about translation key. We're going to rename all of these at some point anyways, from resources to goods, because it's too confusing. So back to that. All right, we have that working. So our county improvement is showing the correct information except for money because we haven't done money yet. So let's do the money. So the money is going to be back to this banker thing. We're only passing in, this is output. Charge for building, we're in the wrong spot. Calculate work goods. So we're only doing this one. Count that completed is fine. Here's the problem is this thing. We could turn this into a method. But once again, we're going to be back to this T thing, which actually, I don't think that's going to, if we put a T here, let's see what it does. I think it should, okay, it doesn't have a problem there. But it wants a namespace. Oh, there's a filler word, right? Whoops. Can I navigate? Was it control home? Get the fuck out of here. Oh, we do have, I was thinking we didn't have system collections at the top. What is this? Go to inside, get out of here. What was I using in the input goods? That was under this thing. Oh, I have object, resource data. But I had the T thing somewhere. We just looked at it, it's right here. Oh, I put a T in front. All right, let's make sure that that's where we're. So you go. What am I trying to do here? Um, I put like a T here or something. No, I'm in the wrong spot. Not charge for building. I put a T here. What is this T shit? No. Yeah. Okay, so this is county resource data. But it almost works with the object here, huh? It doesn't like it with this. But then I had a switch. That's what that input thing, it switched this object, but it can't do it. I don't want to have, so once again, we're back to the same issue we were 5 minutes ago where these are different. And so I can run this twice. I can put a whole thing in here and run it twice again for the faction stuff, but I prefer to have this one method that instead of two methods that are identical except for this thing. Let's ask ChatGPT again and see what it says for this one. Sometimes, it's helpful. Not today. Not today. It has not been helpful. I want to be able to do this with a faction resource data in the place of the county resource data as well. It's going to be like, put a T in there. Oh, no, it's stumped. It doesn't show me the code. Can you show me the code? See, it's just a big clusterfuck. Then I gotta turn them into resource data. Maybe that's because I have been trying to use interfaces. So I would put in an iResource data in here. This might be a good idea, actually, because I have been trying to have an excuse to use this so I can learn how to use interfaces. Where do I put this thing, though? Just like its own script? I bet you I put this as its own script. So let's try this. Maybe we can learn something new today. I like learning new stuff, right? We're not going to call it that, though. We're going to call it something else. Are these things considered public classes? What the fuck are these things considered? Is an interface considered a public class? Is an interface considered a public class? I remember back in the good old days of being scared of public classes too. No. Oh, I hit my free limit. Okay, so can I make this its own script though? Let's try it. I'll put it somewhere. Oh, we'll make a new folder if I don't already have one. We'll make a new folder here. I think I've done this before. Interfaces. We need to break a bunch of shit down anyways, right? Script. Can I put an interface in here? I wonder if it knows. It let me type that in there. I don't know. Oh, invalid parent name. What happens if we just say, we'll put it back to node. We're going to change this anyways. Yeah, shut up. I goods data. I good data. Goods with an S. And we'll do that. Open up. It's not going to open up for me. And this is going to be a resource, comma. No, this is all wrong. I'm going to move this over onto my other side here so I can compare. So this should all be gone. This should be public interface. I feel like I did this before and I couldn't get it to work. It didn't like this shit over here. Okay, for this though, I don't put anything. Okay, then the shared things, the shared methods, properties or events, but no, okay, so what does that mean? So in the interface, I put like name and stuff. So in the interface, I put, we're going to use the faction one because it's smaller. Faction resource goods. What part of this? What part of this? I wonder if this will work with export. I think that was part of the problem. Okay, so then I put the export here, though. Can I export these things? I think that was part of the problem, is I couldn't export these faction resource whatevers. And I need to be able to. So let's, before we change this thing, because I have a feeling this is going to implode something, we'll create a test good data. And we'll try to do it with that. So let's put in our interface, wherever the thing opened at, we'll put string, yeah, exactly. A capital? Capital? Really? Because there's something else called, yeah, we're not doing that. We're going to say good. A capital, though, huh? Is it because it's a getter setter? All right, if you insist. Let's see here. Okay, so we have our iGood thing. Then we're going to need to create a new test one. I'm going to put it in here. In our thing here. All of these are the, what are we doing? Faction resources, county resources. I need my resources. Here we go. We're going to add a new script called test good. I test good data. And we're going to create it right there. Then we're going to go back to our resource, which it should be right here. And then what do we do with this? We say, shut up. God damn it, shut up. Resource, comma, I good data, goods data. Why don't you like this? Okay, it's mad because it doesn't have the stuff, which is fine. So we need to have a string export string. So then we say like good name. What does this thing say? Is it a lowercase? It is a capital. Why are all these suddenly capital? That's like against the rules, man. These are all, you know why? I think is because these are all properties. I want to example C# interface example with that's not written by Chat GPT. Okay, so we got our animal sound, and it is not. Well, this is a method. Well, that's even weirder. Because this should be capital, shouldn't it? Now we have the pigs. Can I get a different example? Written by Microsoft? Okay, so this has to have the sample method inside of it where this is a capital. And it's implementing it. How about if it's just a fucking variable, man? Fucking with examples. Okay, you got a thing in there. Great. Great. Method without body. So this one has something. See, this guy's doing. Calculate area. Oh, this is the. But he has a lowercase. It's like nobody cares. Am I the only one who cares? This is just all mushed. This is the things that they're putting in. This is lowercase c, though. What the flying fuck? Can't you guys just show me something that agrees with my methodology? All right, you got your capitals there. Look at this. They have a capital there. Name equals... Oh, because this is a getter-setter. I wonder why they're all getters-setters, though. Show potential fixes. Implement implement each. No, I don't want to do that. All right, let's go back to this thing, and we'll just not worry about the repercussions of what I'm doing. Getting readjusting a bunch of shit over here. We'll deal with that later. So after we have the name in this thing. Oh, they're not putting resource here, though. They're just doing that. Earlier, I thought they had a comma. I guess they didn't. I thought they had a resource, comma, I, because it needs to be a resource. Oh, no, they did. Up here. I got to make it all weird sized so I can see chat at the same time. A resource data. Okay. So we're going to put that back. And then here we have to implement. I can't just do this. It's right here. So then when they implemented this down here, the public, they have a getter setter on this as well, though. Maybe they have to be the same. Oh, you do. They have to be, whoops, they have to be the same, exactly the same. Okay, so we have this test good that has an export on it that's a resource and an interface. So then to be able to test this in the inspector, we need to put it somewhere. Let's go to globals and we'll just stick a control home here, right at the top. Export group test BS. And we'll go export. Yeah, we got to do it the specific way. This is going to be a test. I test good data. Test good data. And then we're going to do that. Then we need to go back into, oh, we need to add a global whatever the fuck. Where'd you go? I don't think we do it here, though. I think we do it here. No, I think we do it here. And we go a global class. We save that. We go over to here. We build this thing. Maybe this will solve all of our issues. Like, literally. Maybe I can have two different resources. And maybe this is the reason why interfaces are cool. I haven't figured out. Like, there's a lot of stuff that where I'm like, I want to learn how to do something, but I can't understand why they use it at all. And that's like the gap that I have to get over, you know, like once it clicks of why they use something, oh, okay, now I'll use whatever interfaces. And if that's the case, maybe this is where we're on the right path here. So we need to make a new one of these. I'm just going to make a new one in this resource folder, even though it's against all of my rules here. Create new resource in iGood, test iGood data called test iGood test data, something dumb like that. All right, so then we should have in here this thing, but I can't see it. Did I not put an export on this? I did put an export on it. But it's a getter setter? That shouldn't matter. What happens if we don't make it a getter setter? What happens if we just like do this? And then we go back to our iTestGood here. Or iGoods data. And we just go like this. Can we do that? We can't. Wonder why. Cannot contain instance fields. Oh, we need a namespace up here. I haven't had to put a namespace in for a while, so because I'm not creating that many scripts anymore. They're all already, you know, they're already in here. We have all the scripts we need. That's not true, but a lot of the scripts that we have. Oh, it doesn't like this now. Oh, we got to make this a getter setter or whatever, a property. Get set. Okay, let's go back to this. Yeah, it's not showing. Let's build it again. So this is a resource. It's .tres there, which is how, you know, how all of these are. They also have that broken thing, the no icon. So this is our test thing implementing this thing. And it says goods name. It's a public class. It's a resource, and it's an iGoods data. Partial class. Oh, we want this to say public class? Is that going to work? No. Whoops. What does a normal one of these things look like? Yeah, it's just partial class resource. I vaguely remember us running into this before, where they don't show in the inspector. Let's see here. Godot C# interface show in inspector. I have export in there. Maybe I have to put export in this other one. Maybe this has to have export in front of it. Will it let me do that? It will not, because it doesn't know what Godot is, though. So what happens if we just say using Godot up there? And then what if we build this thing? Oh, good name is right there. Was it there the whole time? Test. Good name. Was it there the whole time? All right, let's get rid of this export and see if it was there the whole time. And I just didn't see it. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that it must have been there the whole time. What the fuck? Okay, so then we have this. Now, if we go back to our globals, we put this test bullshit in. Test BS. Now, can we drag and drop this into here? And can we click on this and see it? Now we got a debug thing. Usually I don't give a shit about the ones. If I'm always getting debug things in the inspector, except for those 5. I got to take some time and just figure out these 5 if there's a workaround. So basically, I have a getter setter that gets set by the inspector every time you build it, and it fucks shit up. Okay, so I think that worked. So then back to this other thing, to drag over OBS. Oh, did I close that? I guess I closed that. Recently closed Windows. No, I didn't close it. It's this broken other taskbar. Okay. And damn it, I only have 20 minutes left. And they can have their own things in an interface, it looks like. So it can have this, but we can also add other shit in here. Okay, so let's try to convert this over now that we've done this test. We can delete this test. We'll delete it out of the globals too. That seems to work so far. Oh, we can't have this here? All right, that's fine. We'll just comment it out for now. I'll probably have I probably have more down at the bottom. I used to always put it at the bottom, but I now have so many dead factions. This is some bullshit. Oh yeah, that it was some bullshit. Now we'll build this. We'll go to this test data. It is not. We'll delete it, even though it seems to think. And then we'll change this to iGood. How did they do it on this? How did the robot do it? Oh, this is... Okay, well, that doesn't help us. iGood data. And then we'll change this. iCounty good. Yeah, and this one should be, this is for all of the goods. iGoods data should be this. This one should be iCounty good data. And it's a resource and an iGoods data. I'm going to rename this to the right thing. Okay. No, we don't. What we want to do, I wonder if this is going to be a complete catastrophe. We want to go to this thing. These are all going to be weird, like getters, setters, and stuff. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because they all say they're just getting set. Like they're not private getting. Oh no, they are private getting set because they don't have. Huh? I wonder what that's going to cause. Because the minute I change this, it's going to blow up all of our shit. I think. So if I put like iGoods data here, it's going to be like, yeah, you haven't implemented this, so we got to change this to get. Whoops, other way around. Set get. Whoops. What am I doing? Get doesn't. What am? Oh, this is a semicolon, not a comma, and a semicolon again. And then none of this. What is going on with my brain here? Okay, so that actually we've implemented this with this thing. With just like this. Let's see what happens when we. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. Let's rename this to good data or good name. Go away. Go away. No, you didn't do it. You won't do it. No, you did it. Man, that took a long time for it to figure its shit out. This computer needs some work. Okay. Now let's look at the inspector. I think we just blew up the name of every county resource. County good. As we're going to be, we might as well, if we're going to do this, we should probably rename this like county good while we do all that. Maybe this will be our next weekend thing. We'll implement these interfaces, but we need to check though. We need to test if this even improves our thing, our issues that we're just trying to solve with this. Yeah, so it blows up the name. I wonder if I can run this without the name. I have a feeling that it's not going to, I think there's going to be some null issues. There's 6 of them. Stop it. Yeah, it's trying to set a name and shit. I had a feeling. I think this has happened in the past. Let's just go like 1, 2, 3. We're starting at 1, which is weird. I need to test, I don't want to do all these changes and re-put all this stuff and then suddenly it doesn't work how we want to use it later. So, is there really 8 of them? There are. And now we don't get those bugs. Yeah, and here's the dumb numbers we just put in. So that's fine. Now, what was I testing? What did I need to test? Okay, the next thing, do I have time for that? Maybe. The next thing we would have to test here is we go to our faction resources. We put a comma. We go iGoods data. It's not going to like this because this isn't a getter setter. Yep, that's what we want. There we go. We've now blown up with the name of every faction good. Luckily, we have a bunch of those. Oh, we didn't. Oh, we haven't built it yet. Oh, right. We gotta do this. Sometimes it's just taking a while. Go. There we go. Like I said, I think this computer's on its last leg. I do IT management for a living, and what I call scorched earth is my usual. Like when computers start acting strange, I just blow them up and reinstall Windows. This version of Windows has been installed for a long time on this computer. So I imagine that's the problem. Okay, so we have this thing implemented. We got to go back through and name these. Maybe we'll these ones didn't implode? No, we haven't built it. That's why we have so few resources. We'll do like A's and stuff this time. B, C, I don't know what, there we go. D, I wasn't sure my hand was on the home position or whatever. E, F, and G. Then we'll do this. Might actually get to use an interface, and it might make sense now why that is important. I don't know, my phone thought I was talking to it. Now it thinks I want to look at the weather channel. Okay, so we have these interfaces. We have these two things are now interfaces, goods, data, and it was saying that I could for each through them somewhere. What was I even doing at this point? It was probably the banker. Yeah, it was the banker. So it was saying that up here in the dictionary, we could change this to an iResource data. Okay, let's pretend we've implemented that. So we're not, in this one, it's not saying, so it's saying I should be able to right here put in iResource data. You know, one time I typed in resource here and it worked. It was very strange. But I goods data, it's the for each doesn't like this though. What did you say? What did you? But it says it's a for each. Oh, we got to put in. Well, it's saying like to put in a dictionary here. It's a Godot dictionary though, and we got to spell collections right. It still doesn't like. Oh, it doesn't like that at all. Let me look at this over. Now we're getting all sorts of crazy shit over here. Oh, that's just all this crap. So it's saying pass in a dictionary. No. I clicked something that was wrong. It says pass in a dictionary. Get this shit out of here. We implemented our interfaces. We did that. Define the interface. We did that. And then all of a sudden it won't go down farther. Now there's no longer any. I close this thing. Oh, we're on the wrong. No, looping the data is what we wanted. Yeah, we got it. We understand that. It was still answering. Oh, maybe it was up at the top. Yeah, it was. Okay. But shouldn't, okay, so it's saying, Couldn't I have just done this with the resource key name? I was going to call it a key name. I don't think that's what that's called. Let's do this. Let's go back to this. Let's put this as a county resource data. And let's go put this back as the, I guess I gotta just Control-Z my way out of this. With all my typos in their glory here. One more, 2 more, 3 more. There we go. Let's put a new for each whatever somewhere. We'll just put a method in here. Whatever, public void test iGoods, whatever. Then we'll go for each. Was it saying it was a dictionary? It is saying it's a dictionary. But this is the key value pair. Key value pair I goods data, comma, production data. Okay, it doesn't like this because I'm missing this thing in. What are we doing here? This is called, we're in the banker. Yet. This has to be in here. We'll just pass in the thing. We'll pass in this thing. Shit, this has to be in here. We'll pass in this. Excuse me, that doesn't go there. This is gonna be, we're passing in a dictionary. It's doing it with a C# dictionary. iGoods data, comma, production data, test dic. There we go. And then in test dic. We need this thing named something though. We're getting key value pair. So that works there. Then we say whatever. GD prints whatever with a typo. And then we go key value pair dot value dot good. No, key dot good name. And then we'll go like that. And then down here is where we'll test this out. We'll say test I goods. And then we'll put in this. Nope. We'll put in this thing. And then we'll go like that. And then we'll say this is, okay, so we would have to change the actual dictionary. This is a dictionary though. This is not, we would want this to be a Godot dictionary. God damn it. And then we can't put in this. Must be a variant. Add a null check. Make static. Change signature. Then we're back to this variant thing. Must be a variant compatible type. What does that even mean? Godot must be a variant compatible type. So back when I was using Unity, I went down to this rabbit hole trying to fix this problem, and I finally fixed it using all this crazy shit to do all these different crazy things, getting the index of the index name and turning that name into a string, and it's just, the whole thing is insane. And I finally got to work perfectly, but it was 300 lines of crazy code, and then after that I was like, there's got to be a better fucking way to do this. So I Googled around, and then that's when I discovered the joys of enums. So I have a kind of I kind of feel like I'm on the same path here. I'm going in. Variant compatible type interface. Do not suppress a warning from this rule. APIs that contain generic type usually has it because the values will be passed to the engine. If the type can't be marshaled, they result in runtime errors. Duplicates back. And this is the thing I was looking at earlier. But this is kind of more what I... No, these are all just normal ones. Um, I'm like going in circles here. Now we're back to the beginning, back to an hour ago. What does this thing tell us? Isn't this what I was just looking at? Wonder why these docs are bringing up different... I guess they are different. This is the class. Variant is the most important data type of Godot. It's the most important class in the engine, and variant takes up only 20 bytes, can store almost any engine type. Variants are rarely used to hold information for long periods of time, so they're used mainly for communication. Well, that's not. Both containers, dictionaries, arrays are implemented using variants. A dictionary can... So, I mean, what we can do, I think, so this is mad, I think because this is not, well, no, it shouldn't be. And it doesn't mind this if it's a normal dictionary, but then I can't see the normal dictionary. So I can't make it, I need it to be a normal, or I need it to be a Godot collection dictionary. Otherwise I can't drag and drop shit into the, and this is kind of the circle that we were going in when I tried this interface stuff. Oh, we're in the banker. Basically, like the county improvements, I need to be able to put drag and drop things in here. So they need to be a Godot collection dictionary. They have to be one of those. They cannot be a C# dictionary. Will it let me put like an iGoods thing in here? No, see, it has to be, must be variant compatible. It's a strange solution. Go away. There should be one bug here because of the banker, but so I gotta figure out what this means. This isn't like all of this. This doesn't mean anything to me. Yeah, all right. Let's do this to make sure we're getting some past years stuff. Damn it. Um, the I something feature or I something is a C sharp can only handle things that variant recognizes. Something similar can be treated by over and get. If you're dealing with resources, inheriting from a common base class and marking the export variable as a common base result is enough, I think. C sharp interfaces and Godot. I put and in there because I want Godot interfaces. Is the tool thing. I haven't messed with that in a long time. C sharp implementing getting C sharp gets implemented interfaces. Oh, I think Joker was actually talking about how GD script was implementing things. You just need to find and cast it. Wait, is that what this? No. Where was the bug? It was when this was a Godot collection that we were putting in. This time I'm going to type it correctly. So it often comes back to this. I think if I just make the resources, county resources and faction resources the same, we can get around this. But I did want to do interfaces because it seems an important thing. The problem is that like a lot of this stuff gets kind of neutered, I'm going to say, when it gets into Godot, or I don't know how to do it. That's something. If something inherits from an interface, that just means it's implementing something. So you just get just get the object that uses the interface and call the function. None of this means anything to me. Uh, is Godot ever going to implement overload method? Would be nice. Interfaces is mostly a Java thing with maybe other Java-inspired languages. However, you can use C# with Godot, and you have language where interfaces are part of the design now to late edition. I have started programming from Java. I've considered using C#, but I've grown so accustomed to GD script that it would be counterproductive to switch. Natively supported, but I came across it where complain that is not well. Plus, you need external stuff apart from Godot. This is from 3 years ago, though. Didn't I say motherfucking past year? That must have been a different search. So this one, this doesn't have much conversation on it, though. Just created a PR for this. Please review. January 7th, they closed it. Support signals inherited from interfaces. I don't think I'm understanding something fundamental here. I think it's this variant thing. I think that's the almost any data type perform operations between many variants. Vhash so it can compare quickly to other variants. Be used to convert safely between data types. Great. How the fuck do I use it? Uh, Godot C# variant example. As our type list, you could, oh. Our type list, I'm going to call it a day here in a second, but I always put this in here because I like to know what these things are. What happens if we did that? And then we did like this. Then we did like this. We need to know what this is, though. You gotta know what this is when you get to here, which is what we were trying to do, but it doesn't like this variance. It doesn't Godot variant to this player, and it's like, no, you can't do that. What are my potential fixes? Change the formatting. Suppress the error. Neither one of those are going to do any good. I like to know what all this stuff is so I can like hover over them and shit like that. And you know where it will, so it will like bug out. And the problem isn't this, it's down here. Well, both of these, it's the, we could go like this though. It doesn't have a problem here until this thing comes in and it's like, what the fuck is this? Can I just put like variants in here? No, other than this thing. My cat's like, Josh, I need some food right now. He's been so quiet. Right before I started streaming, he didn't want to like how the bed was made, which was just in a big pile of blankets. And then the minute I made it, can I put like variants in here? No. Variant. Yeah, but now it doesn't know what the fuck this is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. So this is an interesting one because either there's a solution for this. It's just change county resource data and faction resource data into the same thing. It would just be like goods data, and then we would get rid of the interface thing. And that's a solution, but I was hoping to at some point use interfaces, and I think I'm missing understanding, or not understanding what this variant thing means. And so my cat needs attention. I gotta go. So I need to like watch a tutorial or something on this. Call methods, and so that's happened a lot actually. While I'm trying to figure out interfaces, it always just seems easier to do resources. A Godot resource. Give my cat butt pats. You get butt pats, kitty. Oh, now he's happy. He's like, I'm happy, but you need to feed me. Some of it values be variants, signals, blah blah blah, exportable. If you make a struct or a class that doesn't derive from Godot object, then it won't work. Make the thing by changing its class to inherit from Godot object, reference, or resources. So like I don't see people complaining. So I mean there were a few complaints. Interface No, that's going to bring up usage. Like, there's a few people when they're like, when are we going to do it? What is the real use? But I don't see people come. Like, there's a few complaints, but I don't see people like saying like, "How the fuck do I do this?" Reason not to use C sharp. Oh, Kitty, come on, give me like 2 seconds. 2 seconds, Kitty. You guys couldn't see what he's doing. And you know, it wouldn't be that big of a deal if the resources weren't edited in the inspector. And it's actually like a thing that I'm noticing a lot where trying to be able to edit stuff in the inspector actually makes it much more difficult. But a resource seems like that. I think we're just going to have to convert those two to the same resource to make life easier. They're not that different. They're pretty similar. I'm leaning over. It might look like I'm doing something weird over here, but I'm leaning over. I'm petting my cat. It's getting half the attention. So I'm getting one-handed attention. All right. I got to go. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for the help with the variant Joker and Godwin. Kitty, don't go over there. Thank you for the suggestions on the duplications. That's always a pain. It eventually worked. But that's it for me today. Thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you next time, next weekend probably. Have a good existence.